Alright, so the previous video seemed to generate a lot of feedback and also a bit of confusion, it seems, as to what I was actually getting at when talking about the sacred and the profane. How do you feel about the adaptation or alteration to a ritual, not with profanity, but with the elimination and adding of certain elements to construct a final ritual which resonates complete to the practitioner? Well, one should always feel free to experiment in magic, but also need to be mindful of what you're doing, as to not undermine the entire purpose of the ritual that you're altering, as in the case of substituting demonic names for angelic ones that we talked about in the previous video, which was merely an example, by the way, as there were a few people who commented that sacredness is subjective, that just because the angels are sacred to you doesn't mean they're sacred to someone else. Which is true. There are many things that are sacred to certain people that are not sacred to others. For example, burial grounds are sacred to certain cultures and people. Just because they're not sacred to you, does that make it right for you to go in and bulldoze it over and put a shopping center on top of it? Probably not. Most people would find that to be in bad taste at the very least. But it can happen. It certainly has happened. Doesn't make it right. Sacredness is sacred, regardless of what it is. The same respect that you would give another person's or culture's burial grounds, you should be giving to anything that is sacred to someone else, regardless of whether or not it is sacred to you. And that's really the key word here, is respect. Respect for another person's beliefs. And if not, then it would fall into the category of the profane. Does that make sense to you? Now, if you want to call upon demonic forces, no one's going to stop you from doing so. There are many ways to do it. However, to take a ritual that was intended to be used with angelic names and replace them with demonic ones would be disrespectful to the original intent and purpose of that sacred ritual. That was the example, is not limited to that example. All is perception, though. I personally don't think demons are harmful in any way. Okay, so I'm going to give you my view, my perspective, as a traditional Western ceremonial magician. You don't have to agree with it or disagree, but I want you to know where I'm coming from so that you have all the information. I am quite aware that there are a number of magical practitioners out there who view what we do in ceremonial magic and evocation as distasteful, subjugating these poor demons and forcing them to do our will, that we are being mean to them, that we should all just be able to get along and do away with our protections, and then they'll just work better for us. This is largely a modern New Age way of thinking, and I personally think that it is dangerous. There is a reason that we have protections put in place and constrain the demons in ceremonial magic. I've always advocated doing evocation by the book, and this is what the books tell us to do. I mean, there are some out there who will go so far as to not even use a circle, which to me is insane, when one of the many demonic tricks is to get you to step outside the circle. Some are even known to pace around the outer edge of the circle looking for a way in. I mean, I'm surprised that there isn't a PETA group for the demons yet, as some really believe that we are mistreating the demons. You have to understand that Solomon, of who Goetic evocation is based upon, sealed those 72 demons in the brass vessel for a reason. And he was Solomon the Wise. He was much wiser than you or I. It's because those spirits are dangerous. They do not have your best interest in mind.
Grimoires, like the Key of Solomon, that was given to him, the ring, in order to conjure or evoke 72 major demons.
72
yes,
demons?
And then there's a book out there called the Book of 500. And
That's
these
like,
two are spirits and demons that you are able to evoke or conjure, and to gain the knowledge that they have, which again makes you able to wield that power, to influence and to bring into the plane of existence that which you desire, to control others, to control the outcome of things or situations. It will take you many, many years in order to call some of them just to gather that which you need to have in order to bring them into an existence or into the circle. There is fasting. Some will go to great lengths in order to conjure or to evoke a specific demon. And so you're not bringing in many, you're bringing in one, and at that you are taking an extremely dangerous chance with your life.
I would think
You better
so.
have a lot of protection around. You better not step out of the circle. There have been practitioners found with every bone in their body broken the next day.
I personally don't think demons are harmful in any way.
There have been practitioners found with every bone in their body broken the next day.
Now, some could be quite cordial, but that doesn't mean they won't lie to you. Some say, well, demon just means rebellious spirit. Okay, fine. Well, who are they rebelling against? Some would say, well, God. Okay, and whose authority do you represent in the circle when you're doing your evocations? Oh, that's right. And if you don't have that authority, you probably shouldn't be calling them up.
The pentagram ritual by itself is not enough. You have to have these four great archangels of the quarters indwelling within you and ready to help you control the rebellious spirits. Otherwise, opening the brass vessel would be like opening Pandora's box, which, according to the ancient Greek myth, released evil into the world and then could not be reclosed. Therefore, you must first master the art of angelic invocation before you proceed to its darker counterpart, the evocation of Solomon's 72 spirits. Along with the secret of the mirror in the triangle, the other crucially important element missing from the Goetia was the fact that the 72 spirits of the brass vessel had 72 direct counterparts in the holy angels of the Shemham Farash, or extended name of God. Now these derived or suffix angels are not as personified as the archangels of the quarters or the angels of the planetary spheres, but they do provide a direct channel of power through which the four archangels of the quarters control each and every one of the spirits of the brass vessel. Unless this concept is understood and integrated into your goetic operations, you are on spiritually dangerous ground.
There have been practitioners found with every bone in their body broken the next day.
Now, that said, that doesn't mean that you can't be cordial yourself. I prefer to speak softly and carry a big stick, or rather sword in this case, which is only there for those spirits who get out of line. If you invite someone into your house and they start trashing the place, you best have a means of getting them under control. Now, hopefully it won't have to go there, but it's always best to be prepared just in case it does. Of course, the demons aren't going to like that, but neither do I care. If I have something so important that I feel I need to evoke a demon to assist with, I can assure you that that something isn't just to be friendly with a demon. That would not be the purpose. Now, the person that sent this comment talks about tricksters. Well, yeah. These spirits will do their best to lie, trick, and deceive you. Whether or not you're being friendly to them doesn't matter. The rebellious ones are not trustworthy. You don't have to get all ignorant and arrogant with them. In fact, I would recommend against that. I would be as cordial as you possibly can, but I feel it would be most unwise to break protocol and do away with any or all of your protections.
You are unwise to lower your defenses.
So that's my take on demons as a traditional Western ceremonial magician. I'm not doing it to be their buddy. We do it to solve and resolve issues, many of which are caused by the demons. The magician in this role is known as the exorcist. We are granted the authority over them to tell them to knock off what they're doing or to fix it. And yes, I know a lot of people evoke them to gain knowledge and answer a bunch of questions. However, in that capacity, they're not as reliable as angels aren't as apt to lie. Many would probably wonder why use demons at all. And it's really just a case of having them work for you instead of against you, as it is your right to command them by way of divine authority, as they must acknowledge the divine spark within you. So hopefully this clears up any confusion that one may have of my perspective of these things. You're free to agree or disagree as you see fit, but hopefully it's given you something to ponder and think about. The Laws of Magic 6 cycle has launched, but that doesn't mean that you can't get in. I am extending the sign-up period until March 30th. So there's still time to sign up now and receive the first week's introduction. Again, the Laws of Magic 6 cycle enrollment period has been extended until March 30th. Link in the video and in the description, and I'll see you next time. If you enjoyed this video, here's another Mystery School lesson you may have missed. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe for more weekly content to help expand your knowledge. Thanks for all the love and support, and I'll see you next time. Take care.